got another up-close video for you today with the long-awaited release of some new sentiments for the sentiment strip collection from Tonic. And they're launching on Create & Craft with 2 large layering die sets too, so I'm going to show you them as well. So, there was originally 7 sentiments in the sentiment strip collection, and they've been so popular they've brought out another 6 sentiments to go with them. So, the first sentiment is today, then we have sorry, then enjoy, get well, forever, and me to you. And the original, so they're the new, they're the 6 new sentiments. The original ones were for you, thanks, with love, believe, hello, always, and celebrate. So they go really well together. Like I was thinking, if any of you have watched Miranda, she always goes hello to you. You could cut off the me and you could have hello to you, mixing the new and the old together. Or one of my samples that I've done, I was doing kind of like a wedding card. So I did today, forever, and then from the old lot I used always. So it's kind of like using 3 words in conjunction with each other. And you also had celebrate before, so you can have celebrate today, celebrate forever. There's loads of different possibilities of mixing the new ones with the old ones as well, and obviously you can just get these on their own too, and they're just a great bunch of sentiments, and obviously you can use them just as they are. You can mix them in with your other sentiment dies that you might have to create a longer sentiment, or to just like add to the sentiment. Like for example, there's a die set from Tonic that says celebrate in style, but you could cut off the celebrate from that one and put celebrate today. So you can really sort of mix and match them with all of the other sentiments that Tonic have brought out, or you can just use them by themselves as well. So that is the sentiment dies, and they're just exactly the same sizes as the original ones. I haven't got them in the packets because I've been using them, but they're the same length. What do they say? 6.4 inches in length, so they fit perfectly on a 6x6 card, or they fit on an A6 card, or like that way on a 5x7 card. They'd fit perfectly too. And don't forget, you can snip off the extended pieces as well and just have them as little words. And you get the bubble that goes around them too, so you get the dark orange is the actual word die, and that lighter orange is an extra bubble that you get to go around it. But I'll show you that on my samples at the end. So then we also have these 2 large layering die sets that are called Classical Circle and Classical Curved layering die sets. I'll look at this one first because I've got some things to point out with this one. So this is the Classical Curved layering die set, and look at the gorgeous patterns that are within it. And I love that you get a mixture, so you get some that have got a straight, like a normal plain edge, some that have got a plain edge with piercing on one side, some that have got a scalloped edge around them, and also a couple of intricate detail ones as well. Like for the example, this one makes a perfect frame on a smaller size of card, but if you prefer to make bigger cards, you could use that intricate one to create your frame. And there are 13 dies in this set, so it's a really it's a great set for a beginner actually as well. I wish I'd had sets like this when I started out, because you'd end up buying a nesting die set and you'd just be stuck with the basic shapes getting smaller and smaller in. But with this one, you've got a real mixture of everything. So you've got some intricate detail, you've got some fancy edged ones, you know, there's a proper mixture of different dies to use. So this is what the die set looks like. You might be thinking that's a very odd kind of a shape, but these larger ones, on one of my cards, I've lined it up so the score line of a card is here. So it actually, you fold it in half and it creates like a rocker card because it rocks on this portion of it. So I think that's a really cool use for these. You could even do it the opposite way and it could stand on the 2 points as well. And obviously if you like your bigger cards, these are 8 inches, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 8.1 inches is the longest dimension of width. So obviously you have to have an A4 machine to cut them, but yeah, if you like your bigger cards, you've got the bigger shapes there, but if you prefer the smaller cards, you've got those shapes there. I just realised I haven't put that one back in yet. That's the one I actually used to create a card blank that I'll show you. But yeah, I really love that you get such a variety of a mixture and everything, and a couple of them have got the dotting detail on the opposite side of the cutting line, so that would actually leave detail on the aperture, and same for this one down here, it leaves the detail on the aperture rather than on the actual shape itself. So that is that die set. And then we also have the classical circle, which is a really gorgeous large circle layering die set. I love these scalloped ones, and you get different size scalloped. You get this little dainty scallop, but you get this larger scallop as well. I really, really like that. And you even get a smaller one down here as well. So you've got 4 different scalloped circles in this, which I really love. And again, you've got a mixture of like the straight edge, the ones with the dots in it, the scalloped ones, and you've got on this one 3 lots of detail on it as well. So as well as this being a great set to make sort of more intricate fancy looking cards, you can just use the plain edge dies that you get in here too, which I'll show you on one of my cards as well. So you can just use it as if it was a nesting die set. You obviously don't have all of the sizes at equal increments between them, because you've got these like the scalloped ones mixed in and the detail ones and stuff, but you can still make cool effects just using them like as the nesting dies. You can see there it sort of makes a target look. Yeah, so it's a really great die set to have in your stash, this one. I'm really pleased to get this one because I really love big circle dies, and you might have seen that Tonic have brought out a few large circle die sets recently with different themes in them, so I thought it would be interesting to show you how they compare to each other too. So this was the magazine freebie from issue 8 of the Tonic magazine. It's the stained glass one with the daffodil and the rose inside it, and it's got that cool stained glass look. So I thought I would just show you how the sizes of circles compare. So one of the circles within the new die set is the same size as the outside circle, and this one is this, no it's not, it's slightly bigger than that inside circle, so you could use the one from the magazine freebie plus this one to create an extra frame, or because this one is the same size, you could use the next one up in this die set, which is that gorgeous scalloped frame, and you could add a scalloped frame to your magazine freebie as well. So I just wanted to show you that they like Tonic always think about this, about how all of their dies are going to work together in conjunction with each other, and they really do. Like, you can really mix and match their die sets together. Like if you wanted a little scalloped border around your stained glass look, you can do that with this one as well. And obviously you could use the smaller dies to fill in the centre of this, but you could use these pieces as your intricate pieces around the edge and then go down with the smaller dies too. So there's really loads of ways you can mix and match them. And then this was the extra die that they released with that issue of the magazine. And again, obviously that one is going to be the same size as one of these. Is this one the same? That one is a tiny bit bigger, I think, like a millimetre bigger. And then but again, obviously you can bring in like the scalloped edged ones, and that would go perfectly around the largest size from this larger die set. So this one is a really great one to go with all of your other circles, because a lot of the ones where they have circles within circles or a shape within a shape, they often give you just a scalloped circle or a plain edged circle, because you'd be taking up more space to give like an actual intricate scallop, if you know what I mean. So it's really great to work in conjunction with them, and if you wanted to make like this bit a bit bigger, you've got even bigger circle dies to work with it as well. And then as well as those circle dies that they've brought out recently, they've also recently brought out the mermaid collection of dies too. So if we look at that, again, I think this one would be perfect. Yeah, this gives a perfect frame to the sort of smaller sized intricate circle within the mermaid die sets as well. And again, you could create some kind of little intricate scalloped frame to go around the mermaid as well. And this one might even switch out for the detail. No, it's a bit bigger. But that you could extend the detail. You could use this one and then go down with that detail rather than using any of the scallops that are in this new set. So it's really, you can really mix and match them all together. Like that one is roughly the same size as that seaweed that's in there, so you could mix this circly one in with these two to create a completely different frame for your mermaid to sit inside of. And again, with the other mermaid die set, you know, this is the same size because these all mix and match together. So they'll work with both of them if you only have one of them. You know, this. I mean, if you'd bought one of the mermaid sets, buying this set makes your mermaid set go even further because you've got more options of ways that you can mix and match things together. And also, going even further with that, if you had the stitched dies that Tonic have brought out recently, this is the cross stitch circle, these would then go with these too. So maybe not that one. Let's think like next size up. So if with this one, if we cut that one, we could then cut that intricate one inside it. So we've got an intricate one that has a cross stitch around the edge of it as well. So there really are like endless ways to mix especially this circle, new circle die set, in with your other dies that you have, and they actually work really nicely in conjunction with each other because this one's got a sort of semicircular element on it. So if you take out one of these, you can match it up to one of these sizes and it matches that curve. That's what I've done on one of my cards. But so the two shapes go really nicely together. That circle goes perfectly with this kind of a shape because you've got the sort of half circle element within the shape already. And vice versa too, actually. I've done one card where I've used this small frame with the circle elements as well. So they go really nicely together, but your circle one will also expand lots of possibilities for any other circle dies you've already got as well. Because, I mean, the likelihood of you having this large size of circle in this exact same like increments between them is quite slim, and you've got like really large, but this one's got the detailed scallop on it as well, so it's a really versatile die set to have. So that is that's what I wanted to say about that. And then I've got my samples that I've done as well, just to show a few ways of using them. So this one is what I was saying. I've actually cut that to shape. I did trim a slither off the back of it as well so it doesn't rock, it sort of stands. But then you fold it in half, and then I've put one of the circles on it, and then you've got a shaped card that stands like, that stands like that. It's a little bit wonky, but yeah, and then just sort of adding other decorations to it, but using your circle dies and the new curved layering dies to create your actual card blank for everything else to go on. And the smallest ones from the circles, I've actually laid a couple of them behind there as well. So that's one way of using it. Then what I said about utilising the basic shape circles that are in that circle die set, you can just do something really simple like this. So if you invest in a big die set like that that's got the intricate and it's got the fancy edges, but it's also got the basic edges too, rather than going for like multiple sets of just basic dies, you've still got the possibilities of doing your basic techniques just with the plain edged shapes with this die set. So that's just cutting them all inside each other to create a cool, like, funky kind of a card. Then this one I was using that curved, what's the actual name of it? Classical curve shape to sort of create multiple layers, and I did my like glimmer paste technique, which I've done in cards before, where I've cut the intricate design, scraped the glimmer paste through it, peeled that off, let it dry, and then used a clean die cut over the top, and then it looks like the glimmer paste is sort of filling in all of the areas. And this is the new Golden Sparkler shimmer powder in the background. That's using the new Get Well, and then I just use my Dymo labeler to make Soon, so it says Get Well Soon. I thought this would be a good, like more masculine card to give as well. Then this one is what I was saying, mixing the two shapes together. So this was a few of the circle elements, and I actually sort of made a frame and then cut it in half and reversed the half pieces, and then I used the smaller design to just add some extra interest in there, and then I used that small scalloped label shape from the Classical Curve set, and then I used Enjoy Today from the new sentiment strip dies, and I cut off the tails for them so they're just actual words rather than the strips. Then this one was also using that Classical Curve shape, and I was trying to do like invertage when it goes downwards, and then I also for the central elements I actually turned them 90 degrees, so they're going that way but the rest of it's going this way. And for the background on this one, this is actually the two new mica mists, which is Pecan Peach and something Fuchsia, and I actually sprayed them onto shaving foam and did a marbly effect to give that background there, and you can see it a bit on the middle one. So that's sort of using the Dreaming colour collection to make that card. Then I did this one just using the sentiment strip words. Like I said before, I used Today, Forever, and then I used the old Always to sort of create a kind of wedding card. And that this was just an older die set from Tonic called Floral Affections, where I sort of debossed them into the back of the card just to give some detail. Then I did this one, which I was going to make a shaker card, but I actually thought it just looks nice as a floating sentiment, because you can see that shadow of sorry further down. But you can easily sort of add a frame to this to hide the two edge pieces and make that a shaker behind the word as well, which I've done in the past. And this is just creating a really quick aquaflow background, and then using one of the floral aperture dies as an accent as well, and that's the new Sorry die. And then finally, this is more of those floral aperture dies, and I just created a messy background and then simply used the Me to You on it as well. So they're really, the sentiment dies are a really great addition to your crafting collection of stuff, because you can just add them to whatever card you make. I think they go really well for elegant cards, but they also go well for masculine cards, but they go well for feminine cards and funky cards, and you know, they really go with every genre of a card that you can make, which I love. So yeah, this was just an up-close look at the new additions to the sentiment strip range, and the two new large layering die sets from Tonic as well, and I just explained a little bit about how they go with other die sets that Tonic have brought out recently. And obviously they've brought out more like circle layering dies in the past, which you might have, and they'd go with that as well. But I'm just sort of showing more recent stuff that's come out that you might have got or you might have seen and been like, not quite sure I want that, but maybe these sets are the right kind of set for you. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I didn't film any of these cards, but I'm sure you'll be seeing these dies popping up in my videos at some point as well. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!